A couple years down the road, you are sitting in an air-conditioned lobby of a restaurant. You're you're waiting for somebody on a first date, kind of nervous. It's been a little while since you've been out on a date. There's a but this is a little Thai restaurant that's kind of convenient for both of you guys. Just gonna go have dinner, meet one another, see where the evening goes.
Are we meeting in person for the first time?
Yeah,
Oh, cool. We've been talking
yeah,
online, I'm assuming.
yeah, on an app. Um,
Which one?
it's called uh Only the Lonely.
How
And
does it work?
it is where you go when you have tried everywhere else.
Oh
Only the
man.
Lonely where the standards are low.
Oof.
But you met somebody, you matched with a woman. Her name is Marissa Scorn. And uh she she is like pretty cool, very sort of cynical, right? I think if you get on the apps for at any point in time, it is kind of like, oh God, what is this night? It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
It's not fun. They're uncomfortable, but you somehow manage to meet somebody who is like kind of cool and attractive, and you guys are gonna go have lunch at this little Thai restaurant, or sorry, dinner at this little Thai restaurant. The Thai restaurant is called Thai Wen, and so what happened
Oh
was
wow.
there was a soft launch, and they were like going between a couple of different names, and Ty managed to get an invite through a friend, and
Who?
huh
Who did?
Ty Wen, the Austin comedian, managed to get an invite through a friend,
Yeah.
and he went there, and they were checking him in, and they were like, "What's your name?" And he said Ty Wen, and they both looked at each other and they go, "Holy shit, that's the name!" They said it in unison, right?
That's why
So
you
they
bring Ty into business because he's going to be the spark.
the face that launched 1,000 dishes, you know.
Yeah.
So and they just like immediately were like, "Hey guys, don't worry about it." They had the launch anyways. So it Taiwan got to name the restaurant Taiwan, but it's like Taiwan. Their slogan is Taiwan, Thai now.
Oh wow.
Uh,
Oh wow.
and in thanks, their logo is just a picture of Thai, like our comedian friends Taiwan. It's just
Mhm.
him with like his arms crossed. And there's like the sun is setting behind him. It's like a silhouette. So
Why is it so dramatic?
it's a dramatic restaurant, man. You walk in, the lights are low.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, the lights, it's like a dim restaurant. It's it's a little more intimate than you might imagine. It's a great little date spot. The food is
Okay, I
good,
guess I can picture this.
you
Yeah.
know. There's candles at the table. So you sit down, right? You're in a booth. You're waiting for Marissa to show up. You meet her and she is just delightful in person. Yeah, sure, she's like cynical, but she is like funny and she's like pretty smart and with it and loves doing bits, the whole thing. There's an immediate attraction. There's an immediate spark, right? You guys have an excellent dinner filled with great conversation. And, at one point, you just kind of both know, like, oh, we've really hit it off. And you go, hey, do you want to come back to my place? And she's
I
like,
say that on
yeah,
the. Oh, okay.
over
That's
dinner, over a bowl of, it's like rice pudding.
yeah.
Yeah, you guys are both sharing it.
Was Ty there that night?
Oh, yeah, he's there most nights. He gets free food, so he makes the most of it. He has a little like booth in the corner. He comes in, he's wearing like a full crisp white linen suit, top and bottom. He sits down, snaps his fingers, a bowl of Tom Kha just appears in front of him, right? Like they know Ty.
What is his role in the restaurant? He's like the face, kind of, or
Yeah, he's the face. He's the guy who named it. He's the cultural guru of what they're doing. He's a real vibes guy. He's that kind of thing.
this might actually work.
It has been working, man.
I could honestly see this working.
Like, to be frank with you, you walk in and Ty, like you and Ty lock eyes from across the restaurant. You kind of wave. He waves back, and the wait staff sees it, and they don't charge you a fucking thing.
Really?
Yeah. They bring you the bill and they say it's been taken care of. Compliments of Mr. Wen. And you look
Like,
over and he just kind of like,
yeah.
gestures towards you.
I would like doff a pretend hat in
Yeah.
response.
Yeah.
I'd leave a tip though, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. You do. So it was kind of like a power move at the end of dinner. So you guys go back to your house, right? You park your cars in your driveway. The lights on your front porch are the only ones on. All your other neighbors have their lights off. It is a little late at night. You guys kind of stand out by your car and you make out in the driveway for just a minute.
Hell yeah.
And you're like, let's go inside. And you think, okay, here we go. This is it,
Yeah.
you know? She turns and the lights illuminating your garage door show just it's fucked up. It's all dented up, right? And you know that it's been an issue, right? It's not just like one big dent, it's a series of smaller dents that have really fucked up the integrity. And it kind of looks pretty shitty.
Yikes.
And they're like, you know, they're not bricks, but they're like brick size. They're sort of rectangular in nature. Marissa looks at your garage door and she goes, what the fuck is wrong with your garage? And that's when you have to tell her that your paper boy has an arm on him like you would not believe.
Really?
Yeah. Your paper boy won the paper boy of the year for the state of Texas for the
Oh,
last 2 years.
oh my God.
Right. And he's the heavy favorite to win it this year. He'll be 17 this year. He's in like his paperboy physical prime, right? He's at his paperboy peak before he ages out.
But then he should be good enough to not put dents in my fucking.
He's he has a fucking cannon attached to his right arm.
Then take it easy.
He can't, man. He can only throw one speed, and that's as
Yeah.
hard as fucking possible. And you've even like told him before. Like you one time you were out there and because like this has been a problem that's been going on for a while. Like your door is really fucking dented up. Like your garage is not usable at this point because you can't get the fucking door open.
Oh my God.
So like there was one time where you were on the front lawn and you when he delivers it because you hear the fucking bang of that newspaper against that pin door. That's what it sounds like. Aluminum. I'm not a metals guy. Whatever it is.
You're
So
not?
you knew when he comes because he has a pretty regular schedule. He's there early in the morning,
Yeah.
and you can hear him coming like as soon as 'cause, the Terrywood Glen is like the shape of it is like a horseshoe, like if you're looking at the road that you turn off of, it's like an upside down horseshoe, like an arch. And in the middle of the arch, there are like several cross streets, but you live on the horseshoe, right? The elite part of Terrywood Glen. You live in the back corner, like 11 o'clock if it were a clock face. And as soon as he comes in and enters off the main road, you can just hear him coming because he does it to everybody. Bang, bang, bang.
Everybody.
Oh, I mean, like the people who subscribe to the paper, yeah. He learned his lesson a couple years ago. He threw one against a guy who was not a subscriber, and that guy came out of his house with a 12-barrel shotgun. And he says, "You do that to me again, I'm blowing your fucking head off."
Oh
He
my
goes,
God.
I'll go to prison. You don't do that to me.
Holy shit.
And so, he learned pretty quick. Like you gotta be accurate.
How old is this kid?
He's 17. This is Paperboy Prime. He's at his peak Paperboy right now. Because really, if you're like a kid and you're not driving a car when you're 16, that's a little weird, right? Some people would think that's like a little out of the ordinary. Most kids start driving around that age. But if you like had like a legit paperboy route, you would bike it for another year or so, and then you kind of outgrew that job and it fell to somebody younger in the neighborhood. That's just kind of how it worked. But this guy, again, third year in a row, he's a lock to be paperboy of the year in the state of Texas, right? His name is uh, Shannon Tartleby.
And Tartleby.
Shannon Tartleby has a cannon for a right arm. He plays for a local high school baseball team. He's got a couple D1 scholarships that he's going to be choosing from. Not full baseball doesn't give you a full ride like other sports does, but he's going to have a lot of his education paid
Okay.
for.
I don't give a fuck about any of this. I would just cancel my paper. I would just go all digital anyway. That's completely
We
pointless
you
to
didn't
get.
because when you bought the house, they're like, okay, for buying the house, you also get a year supply of the Lanalax Gazette. And you're like, fine, yeah, okay. And they go, okay. He goes, you can't cancel it. We're gonna send them all. And they're like, you're like, okay, whatever. So it was like built into your lease. You definitely can't
What?
cancel it. Oh yeah,
So until I pay off my mortgage, I'm just gonna keep getting
the
the
Lanalax
newspaper.
Gazette.
Then I would complain. I would complain. I mean, we
You
if
uh
we
you
all
went to
complain
your
about the same thing, they have to do something.
you went to your attorney, Jackson Renegade, the attorney who fucks.
Oh
You
yeah.
showed him your mortgage and you're like, look, is there any way I can get out of this? And he's like, no, man. He goes, this thing is ironclad.
Ah,
He goes, you got to make things right with you got to make things right with the paper boy. He goes, or you just wait him out. He goes, but that nobody's gonna touch that kid. He's got a golden arm. Florida State is looking at him. He goes, that kid's not getting in trouble. Not for showing off that fucking hose. That's for goddamn sure. He
okay.
goes, you got to talk to the kid or deal with it some other way. He goes,
Okay,
either
I'll
way,
talk.
I can't help.
Okay, then I will talk to this kid.
So you
I like wave him over, I think.
well, you you don't he's not like so like it's also very early in the morning when you get the paper.
I'd wake
Like
up, that's what I'm saying. I would wake up extra early and wait for him.
yeah, you like it's Monday, right?
Yeah.
You set your alarm, you go, you get woken up by a bang, right? You just missed it, right? You to go out, you grab the newspaper, it's still hot from the speed that he threw it with.
Oh wow.
You
That's an arm.
you open up the sports section, there's a picture of him mid throw.
Wow.
You see like a Fibonacci sequence.
Oh my. Oh no.
right? So you look down at the article, right? And it says Tartleby to the pros question mark. And it's an article about how that he's gaining heat as a high school baseball prospect. And some of the professional teams are looking at maybe drafting him. And so he might do that in lieu of going to college. And there's even it's like a glowing article about him as a baseball player, about him as an academic. He has a 4.0. He's like third in his class, right? He's um he's great in the community. They show a thing where the baseball team was making lunches for uh kids who don't have parents. It's an organization in town. Well, kids who
Hold
don't
on.
have parents, LLC.
The group is called just kids who
For
don't have parents.
Yeah, kids who don't have parents, LLC.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it's just like, where some kids kind of have to go, if they need help.
Just like an
And
orphanage?
I mean it's more like a shelter kind of a thing, the state sometimes gets involved depending upon the age of the kid.
Wow.
It's really just like a sort of a refuge kind of a thing. It's not um super legit or like organized. It's a community based effort kind of a place. People coming together helping those who don't have what they should. So, there's talk of him doing that, making food for those kids and helping out and just how this guy has it all, you know. At the very end, the author says, "If I ever meet anyone who has a bad thing to say about this young man, he'll see the end of my 44." He goes, "In all my years of covering high school athletes, I've never met one that I'm as proud to have known as Shannon Tartleby." And it tells you his next game is later on that night at the high school field. The high school field is it's it's named after it's the Tammy Kwan Memorial High School Field.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um there was the story was that there was a woman who swept into town in love, like a hurricane brought her there, dropped her off, and she had a torrid romance with a man who just kind of went missing, and then she disappeared, and then the field was like significantly upgraded, and her name was put on it, but she was like not in town for it.
Okay.
You know,
I guess.
it's a beautiful field though, right? So you think, okay, I'm going to go down there. I know where he's going to be. He'll be out of this context of doing this paperboy thing. Like we
Wait,
can
hold
have a
on.
conversation.
Real quick. So rather than just like wake up earlier, I go to like confront him at his ball game. I feel like that's
You have a hard time getting up that early.
I know, but it would be so bizarre for me to just confront some high schooler at his game in front of everybody.
Well,
Doing it in front of
it's
my
just
house is
it's
way
been
more
a thing
normal.
where like you've tried to do this a couple of times now and haven't
He
had any
just keeps
success.
just
He's
keeps
got
slipping through
headphones
my
in.
fingers.
He's got headphones in. He's just fucking whipping these papers against these garage doors. You know what I mean? He's just doing his job, man. He's got his head down. He's pedaling, getting his cardio up. He's got a lot on his mind. Do I go to Florida State? Do I test the waters for the pros? Do I work in the family business and give it all up to do the same thing all the men before me in my lifeline have done? He's got a lot on his mind, so he's not paying attention. So yeah, you go to the game, right? He bats third in the lineup. You didn't realize how big he was until you saw him next to like other high school kids. You know, he's a pretty big dude. He's like 6'2", 200 pounds. He's got a lot. He's got a lot of mass. He's a big guy. He went 3 for 4. He hit a home run. He blistered a ball off of the wall into right field for a stand-up double. He was easily the best player on the diamond. You saw him throw a guy out at third, standing flat-footed from the warning track in right field. There were two guys in the stands with like radar guns.
Yeah.
They watched the throw. Each one of them took their hats off and they wiped their brow and they said, "Holy shit."
Wow.
So after the game, Shannon Tartleby's team won 4-2.
Hmm.
You're kind of hanging out in the parking lot by the door. You see him come out. He's got his bag in his hand. What do you say?
Uh, I would go, hey Shannon, 2 seconds, please.
He's chewing a fucking fat wad of gum.
Okay. So I
He goes,
wave at him. I go, hi Shannon. I go, do you have 2 seconds, buddy?
yeah, what do you want me to sign? He kind of like walks over, a
I
little
go, congrats
cocky.
on congrats on the win.
He goes, thanks, man. Just doing
I
what
go,
I can.
cool, man. I go, it's funny for me to run into you here because you actually deliver my newspaper every morning.
He goes, oh yeah? He
I
goes, where do you live?
Uh, I live in Terrywood Glen.
He goes, are you on the shoe or are you in one of the middle streets?
I think I know I'm in the good part of it. I forget what part
He
that one.
goes, yeah, you're in the horseshoe.
I go, yeah.
He goes, yeah, I deliver your papers out there.
I
He
go,
goes, what did I break something?
well, to be honest with you, you're kind of damaging the doors. Like there's dents in them and stuff. I know you're just trying to do your job. I just wanted to let you know, like, maybe don't throw them that hard. I don't know. I don't know, man. Sorry.
He kind of he kind of like hangs his head a little bit. He pulls his cap down.
Yeah.
You see
Jesus.
a tear run down his dusty cheek.
Oh,
Stops about
buddy.
halfway down. He gets caked up. He goes, man, I'm real sorry.
It's fine. Come on, bud. It's all good. I just
He
wanted to let
goes,
you know is all.
he goes, I gotta I've been fucking one of the women in Terrywood Glen, and
All right.
she stopped it about 2 weeks ago, and you know I think I've been taking it out on you guys. I'm
Oh,
really
okay.
sorry.
That's all right, man.
He goes, yeah, we were fucking for a while, and he kind of looks up. You see tears in his eyes. He goes, but all good things must come to an end.
I guess so, buddy. Congrats again on the win.
He goes, he kind of like twists his toe into the rock. He goes, who cares? It's a game. He goes, he looks up at you, full on weeping. He goes, I thought she really loved me.
Oh, oh man. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna get going. Congrats again on the win.
He kind of like leans in,
No.
right? He hugs you. He goes, thanks,
Oh,
man.
of
He goes,
course.
I didn't realize that I was hurting other people. And he goes,
It's
And you
Yeah,
being a total stranger, like, thanks for letting me get that off my chest.
you got it, man.
So you like lean in, right? He gives you a big hug, right? You smell his sweat. You feel his tears on your neck.
He's still
And then
ah.
the next thing you feel is a bullet pierce his spine. And
What?
the lady that the husband of the woman that he was cheating with was sitting up on the hill with a rifle, and you guys were hugging, and he was
No,
like, "Fuck it," and he just shot right through you. He shot and
no.
hit you took the bullet for Shannon Tartleby, and you were like holding him, and he was like hugging you and just crying and crying. And he was
Uh,
just like was not aware of what was happening to you as all as that guy put like 3 rounds into you. And then his gun jammed and Shannon Tartleby like let go of you and you just fell right there on the ground in the parking lot next to the baseball field.
lifeless.
So no, you were still alive. And
Oh,
but so
good.
the guy like unjammed his gun and reloaded. And he
Good. I try to
Shannon
get away
Tartleby
then.
no,
I
you
start
couldn't.
to.
You were definitely paralyzed for sure.
No,
You
damn
could not
it.
move. You were just laying there in pain,
All
trying
right.
to scream, but nothing's coming out. And the guy like got his gun unjammed, and Shannon Tartleby sees it, you know, and now he's like aware of the imminent threat, and he
Mm.
gets in his car and he just like peels out and he runs over your body right there and he kills you right there.
Shannon.
He runs over your body, and your head pops off, and it
Oh,
goes over the fucking right field wall. Home run.
I guess. Oh, man. Fuck. That sucks. Damn.
You shouldn't have gone to that game.
I guess not, man. Damn it. Ugh.